all for coming to our show. Thank you for wooing so enthusiastically on a Tuesday night. Oh, I like being in Lancaster. This is always a nice place to come to. Is it a nice place to live? Yeah, it does seem nice. It does look a bit like the place in Happy Valley though. I know that's in Hampton Bridge or Todmorden, but it does look like, I was like, this is too nice to be real. Is there a secret gang going on or something here? No, is it actually really lovely? Someone just said there's gaps. Gaps? Gangs? Yeah, is there gangs? Shut your mouth! Don't tell them about the gangs of Lancaster! I really want to get into crowd work with an audience because that's become a big thing on Instagram now. It's comedy, crowd work clips. But I'm autistic, so it's been an unmitigated disaster so bad. Anytime I've done crowd work, the only way I could really do it regularly would be if you guys were to submit a pre-approved script before the show, and then I was to do the apparently spontaneous back and forth after that. Now I mentioned being autistic quite early on in the show because it's going to make a lot of sense of other stuff I say down the line. And often when I say to people that I'm autistic, taxi drivers and sort of Joe Rogan manosphere types will say to me, oh, everyone's being diagnosed autistic these days. So if you know this, guys, everyone is being diagnosed autistic these days. And I'm like, no, that's the ADHD people you're thinking of. Surely the cutie patooties of the neurodivergence umbrella. The ease you in with a cute way of forgetting everything and being late to stuff. I'm so jealous of all the ADHD comedians. It's about 90% of comedians now with ADHD, they get their medication, that's meant to sort them out. There's about 5 of us autistic in the comedy world. We're all in a WhatsApp group together where we complain about people touching us lightly on the arms. And see, ever since I've been mentioning the old autism on stage, TV producers were some of the least creative people I've met in my life. Try and put me on programmes, not as a comedian, but as the inspirational, autistic one. And this is not a role I am willing to play. I remember this time last year, I got asked to go on a programme. I can't tell you what programme it was, let's just say it was a popular Latin American ballroom dancing competition. You know which one I'm on about. In our drama, I tend to kick myself in the fanny and do Latin American ballroom dancing on live TV. But I thought I'm going to do the job interview for the laugh. And during the job interview, the producers were really gushing, oh, we hear it strictly. Oh no! We at Strictly are passionate about the art of Latin American ballroom dancing with Z-list celebrities. But in the past, we neglected to have a wide range of dancers. That's why we want you, Fair Brady. And I thought, uh-oh, I know exactly what's going on here. I was reading between the lines, something I'm apparently incapable of doing. I really wanted to get me on to do poignant dancing about being autistic, didn't they? They wanted me dancing to a band cover version of Don't Stand So Close to Me! That's what they want! Well, old Brady knows what's up! I really wanted the money shot, which is me panning into the camera at the end of a poorly executed, yet strangely beautiful Paso Doble. Thanks for this opportunity, guys. I always thought I was socially clumsy, a poor communicator, but thanks to Giovanni and the rubber, I've got the new Emo! People will point at their tellies, isn't that beautiful? They've cured autism. It's not beautiful, it's exploitative. And here, I remember saying to my agent last year, I think Strictly is one of the most sinister programmes on television. Oh, Fer, you're so negative. Don't know if you've seen the papers. Turns out all the dancers were stamping on the celebrities' feet. We're going to dance for another 8 hours, you whore. Back after maybe I was right after all. I've realised in the last couple of years, I don't even want to be famous, right? This is going to blow your mind. I mean, the timing of that was quite inconvenient because it happened right after I was on a thing called Taskmaster. I know it's lovely people come to the shows off the back of it, but I don't want to be famous. A lot of comedians get in a comedy to try and be famous, to try and maybe host a tea time quiz show, maybe go in a bit of acting, maybe change hearts and minds through the power of Latin American balloon dancing. This is going to blow your mind. I just got in it to do more and more comedy. This scenario tonight is my dream. I just like saying the same thing at the same time. same. Ideally, this wouldn't even be a nationwide tour. It would be 40 nights in a venue across the road from my house. And you often, before I did this as a job, I thought, oh, I bet touring comedians have a wild life. I bet they're drinking and shacking all the time. And then I became one, and I feel like I'm not living up to my idea of what it's supposed to be, because I'm so boring. I'm such a boring bitch. This is how boring I am. I met these two girls at the start of this tour in Australia, Nina and Frankie. I shared the backstage with Nina and Frankie at a comedy festival, and every night they'd say, Fern, come for a drink after the show. We're all going drinking after the show. Come for a drink, come for a drink. And eventually I said, look, Nina, Frankie, I'm never coming for a drink with you. Not now, not ever, because I have a sleep optimization app on my Apple Watch. Sleeping time is 10 p.m. till 7 a.m. If I don't get 95% on the app, I'll be devastated. They looked at me with such tangible pity. I've never felt worse about not being able to lie. And I don't know if any of you guys in a sleep optimization here. This show is my dream. I think this show started at 7:30. So I'm going to be, and I'm staying across the road. If anyone wants to know my location, I'm going to be in a hot bath with a novel by sleepy time. Love sleep optimization. My partner's getting into it at the moment as well. And the other night, it was like, right, Fern, it's 10 p.m. Put the laptop away. I had the laptop on my tits in bed. And I took it off me and then picked up my phone and just looked at it. And he was like, no, it's sleep time. And I was like, what do you mean? And he went, just put the lights off and do nothing. And I was like, what, do you want me to raw dog sleep? Just lie there thinking plain thoughts. I haven't done that for years. That's horrifying. So I was lying there, raw dog and sleep. I don't want to be on Strictly. I just want to do comedy over and over again. Where can I go that respects that? America. Time to break America. Why would you do that, Fern? They're so broken already. That broke empire of our country alone. I went to America for the first time in the last year, and American audiences. I don't want to seem ungrateful. You guys are already a great audience. I say a thing, you laugh. I say another thing, you laugh. We'll continue on in that rate for the next hour. But American audiences, those guys clap because they recognise nouns. Do you know how good that makes me feel? You start to feel like a god. You start to develop some of that delusional American confidence. American confidence, if you're a Scottish person, American confidence does come across as demented to you. I'd previously only ever seen American confidence in normal people on cocaine or male comedians on podcasts. They're so confident. And like, if you're Scottish, we have very low self-esteem as a country, so I'm always trying to overcome it. Like, we have a book in Scotland from Victorian times called The House with the Green Shutters, and I'll summarise it very poorly here. The House with the Green Shutters is a book where this little guy goes to uni, writes an essay, wins a prize for it, feels proud, and because of feeling pride, everything goes wrong in his life. Like, his mum gets ill and dies. I think the dad punches the mum before her death. And it's a very Scottish message. If you feel good about anything, a bad thing will happen to you. So I'm always trying to overcome that feeling. And I got these American agents when I was over there, and I've never felt particularly, I've never known what it means to feel Scottish or British until this thing happened to me. Got these American agents, and my British agent warned me, don't talk about yourself to them like you're a British person, right? Hello, nice to meet you, I'm Fern, I'm nothing, I'm no one, I'm a little worm. That's my instinct. He said, talk like an American. Hi, I'm Fern, I'm the best comedian ever. I should be in charge of making films. I should be leader of the free world. That kind of thing. That feels wrong to me, but I went, right, fair enough, I'm going to try it. So we got into this meeting with American agents. There's loads of them. They all start introducing themselves in a frightening way. Hi, my name's Sophie. I'm a former theatre kid. Still like to embarrass myself sometimes. Hi, Fern. My name's Matt. When I got the opportunity to work in this agency, I leapt for it! I was like, explain me in. But I thought, no, you have to act like these Americans. So I've been doing some research with successful American comedians, and one of them in an interview had said, dreams are free, so why wouldn't you dream big? Dreams are free, why wouldn't you dream big? I can already see someone sniggering. That's a very response to be like, dreams die, people leave. But I thought, no, I have to be like the Americans. I was thinking, dreams are free, why wouldn't you dream big? Dreams are free, why wouldn't you dream big? And it got to my turn to introduce myself. They were like, Fair, what do you want to do when you get here to LA? And I said, well, if I could just be the voice of a fish in a cartoon. I think I could be happy with that. I could see my English agent going, she's fucked it! And I felt relieved that we ended the meeting there, and I didn't get the opportunity to tell them that even in the highest heights of my imagination, I'm not even the lead fish. Can't retreat that bit. I'm like the Scottish fish. She has a cameo. She gets one line, swims on, swims off again. I don't think I'm cut out for fame. You get on the telly and you think that you have a normal face, and then you have to go and sit next to Jimmy Carr, and he's had about 4 facelifts. Oh God, I'm gonna have to start doing stuff to my face too. Start getting Botox. Now, I've had loads of Botox. My boyfriend said, don't tell your audience you've had Botox. A lot of them, especially Taskmaster people, very pure, earnest people, they want to see you as a strong, confident lady. If you say you get poison injected in your head, they'll feel sad and bad inside. Guess what? I feel sad and bad inside too. Who do you think I feel looking at my shiny robot forehead in the mirror every day, knowing I read all the feminism at uni, I've read the beauty myth by what's her name, and now I have to look at my forehead and go, what have I become? That's just money melting in your face. That could have been a pension, you idiot. I always worry at this point, men in the audience, you're maybe not sure what one's Botox and what one's fillers. Botox is the one that a lot of women tend to start getting, it paralyses your expressions in your forehead for 3 to 6 months, and we tend to start getting it in our 30s and 40s, because that's about the age you start realising things aren't going to be okay. You start saying things like, I thought this marriage meant something to you! Your face goes all twisted. And you need a powerful toxin to reset it back to a pleasing, neutral expression. Otherwise they have you killed as a witch when you hit menopause. I heard a couple of specific laughs there. I can't really see under the lights, but I thought if I could, it would just be a woman like, I understand this bit. Doesn't agree with me, Botox. I don't like getting it. Someone recently said to me, Fern, have you ever tried stopping getting Botox and working on your low self-esteem instead? Do you think that worked? Or do you think I just had a wrinkly forehead and I still hated my mother? I stopped getting Botox the last year and I was so brave, my struggle. Didn't fix my mental health, still hated my mum. It's very taboo to say you hate your mum in comedy, or anywhere actually, out and about. A lot of my pals hate their dads. Well, comedians hate their dads, and if you don't talk to your dad, I find generally people say, fair enough, men are trash, what did daddy do? If you hate your mum, you can see people thinking, what did you do? You're obviously an evil baby. And I was going to cut that bit from the show. show, but quite an intense man messaged me after a work in progress, and he said, keep that bit about hating your mum in the show. Because I hate my mum too. And then I heard in my head, one day I'll kill you. You always have to be loyal to your core audience. So before Taskmaster, before anything, I had a very loyal audience made up of 3 specific groups of people. Number 1, big bearded men. It's so difficult not to make direct eye contact. You're just always there in the front rows supporting me with your large beards. Number 2, bass guitarists. Bass guitarists are drawn me like rats to the Pied Piper. And I know why. Because this is a lead singer type of job. Being a female comedian has quite alpha energy. So I can't be with another lead singer. I need a humble bass guitarist just standing in the background of my life, strumming the notes. And this is the 3rd group of people that have always come to my shows. Again, it's very specific, and that's adult women with pet rats. Oh yes. Yes, feels like there's a few of you out there. You don't have to actually have a pet rat, you just have to have considered it. Have that kind of energy. Weird goth energy. So anyway, I stopped getting Botox last year, so brave, I know. And then I got a job, I looked in the mirror one day, and I was like, oh my god, I look about 30 years old. That is disgusting! Even though I'm 38. I'm going back down to the Botox clinic. I marched down the clinic. I said to the woman, put extra in. I want more than last time. I actually want it to be so strong that if I try and raise my eyebrows to look at a beautiful sunset, I want to fall backwards on my hands. And right after that, I got a job interviewing one of my idols in life, Miss Miriam Margolyes. Now, I love the gasps of drama. If you don't know who Miriam Margolyes is, she's a very posh, very old English lady. She was known for being an actress. I think she was in Harry Potter and stuff, but in later life, she's developed a new level of fame for going on TV, saying mental stuff. And someone during one of my Aussie shows went, no, Miriam isn't posh. And I thought, God love the Australians with their total ignorance of the British class system. Miriam is so posh that she went on live TV at the end of her lockdown and said, I rather hope Boris Johnson would die of COVID. Remember? It was so difficult living in London at the time because all my English friends, even the lefty ones, were like, oh, I love Miriam, but that's a step too far. And I had to be like, yes, a step too far. Obviously, I was like, die, you blonde clop, die! Yes, I thought the north of England would be a safe testing ground. So I've just been in Ireland there, started touring off in Scotland. Obviously, they were like, yay! And I thought, will it go down in Lancaster? Yes. Will it be edited out for the Guildford version of the show? 1,000,000%. I'll probably sing I'll kiss pictures of the Queen. King, puzzle guy, the moment. So Miriam is posh, but I love her. Anyway, I was interviewing her at this thing. We were sitting backstage after. Miriam's telling me all these amazing showbiz stories because she's a raconteur. And I was really enjoying it, but anyone in the room who's had Botox will know it is 10 to 14 days before that stuff kicks in, and I realised it has kicked in hard. So I said, Miriam, I am enjoying your stories, but I will level with you. I've recently had Botox. So all I can do right now is blink at you affectionately. And I thought she would be like, babes, I'm an actress, don't worry, and we would have a laugh. When I say she went apeshit at me, I'm not exaggerating, she went mental. She was like, my dear, why are you getting Botox? You stupid girl, lunging forward at me. And then she said the best sentence I've ever heard in my life. She went, don't you understand? As we make our way through life, your face is your text. The lines are the words. That is how she talks. Your face is your text. The lines are the words. She talks like a book. And then she goes on gentle and she was like, my dear, why are you even getting Botox? Don't you know you are beautiful? And I started to cry in her face. But I still couldn't move any of my facial muscles. So I was like, I'm sorry, Miriam. Just squirting tears in her face. I promise never again. I don't know why. I thought, do you know what I need more difficulty with in my life as an autistic person? Communicating my emotions through my face. Let's lean into that more. And if you think she's charismatic when you're watching little Instagram clips of her, when you're this close to her big brown eyes, I actually started thinking, I'm going to have to explain to my parents I've left my boyfriend for an 82-year-old. I'm running away into the night together. God, the press will say I'm after her for money. She's beautiful. She's the most beautiful, charismatic woman I've ever met. So that got me thinking, Miriam's really charming and lovely. Why can't you be more like Miriam and not mess with her face and love yourself? So dumb! Every time I say things in my head like, love yourself, a really Scottish voice goes, shut up there. Miriam's old, she's got 2 houses, she's made it. You're still climbing your way up the greasy pole of showbiz, run mainly by men. If anything, do more stuff to your face. Then I've always been, you should lose weight as well. It's so bad. TV makes you want to be so skinny. No, my partner's always trying to say, oh, you've got dysmorphia, but I can't trust him because he works in an ugly person's job. So I'm like, hey, you're a podcast, you don't understand. Don't worry, oh, by the way, I saw a male comedian recently do a bit where he was like, ladies, don't get skinny for us men. No man wants to run his hands down a lady's ribcage in bed like a xylophone. And I thought, how dare you presume I want to be skinny so that men fancy me? How dare you? Men will fuck a tube. All women are so silly, they do stuff for men. No, it's a pragmatic economic decision. I saw a story in The Economist that says you get more work if you lose weight. I want to be skinny for all those reasons, and so that women hate me and gay men envy me. I want the gays to shout slay as I walk past them on my toothpick legs with my hollowed out Ozempic face. I know it's terrible, that's why I'm retiring for the world of books. I'm not going to say anything like, I'll get Botox because it's my choice and it's empowering. I hate girl boss feminism. Blatantly, I'll mess about with how I look because I was dead ugly at school and got bullied for it. And anyone in this room who was dead ugly at school and got bullied for it will know you have to work out 1 of 2 things very early on in life. Number 1, get better looking immediately. Or number 2, develop a cracking personality to make up for your horrific face. I cannot overstate what an unfortunate looking child I was. I had big thick milk bottle glasses. I had quite an unusual haircut, like one of the ones from ABBA, one of the men from ABBA. I had a moustache, which isn't great when you're a 10-year-old girl. And I used to wear head-to-toe orange clothing. I don't know why, it just felt so good. I didn't get diagnosed autistic till my 30s, and technically that's not in the diagnostic criteria, but I think it should be. I feel like orange feels good on my body! And that's very bad, because I can see some of you are wearing little cute glasses, right? I don't mean little cutie glasses wearers like you when I say I have glasses. I had the kind of glasses where they were like, next level up, we can't make glasses anymore. And I hate when comedians joke about being from an inbred place, because I actually am from an inbred place. And I'll prove it to you. When I got my eyes lasered, I was about 30, and the doctor had said, we don't think we can do laser eye surgery on you. And then he took a second look and he went, actually we can, because I have never seen such thick corneas on another human. My God, these are the thickest corneas I've ever seen in my life. And I thought, yeah, because I'm meant to be a fish person in Ireland. Like, I grew up with extra teeth that had to be removed. If I took my shoes off to show you, I've got these mad toes that curl over, because I'm meant to be scuttling up the side of a rock, making mollusks of it. I didn't have an amazing personality at school either. Instead, I had a series of small businesses that I ran from the playground. Number 1 business, take of them and trying to sell them in the playground. That was my number one business. It was my side hustle in addition to being a school child. Now, I think when normal children get bullied, they'll say to themselves, what will end the bullying? And they go, try being more like your peers. Maybe don't do any one of the 5 things I just listed. Like the jam jar business, I guess. Ask your parents to shave you. Every solution I came up with to stop getting bullied was so unbelievably geeky that I'm now like, did I deserve it? Like, I remember lying in bed when I was 10 thinking, what will end the bullying and name calling? Then I was like, oh my god, I've got it. If I could just persuade mum and dad to buy me a massive snake. I'm going to turn up in the playground tomorrow. I'm going to have the snake down by my shoulders. I'm going to stroll into the playground like Britney at the VMAs if she had glasses and a moustache. And people may not like me, but they will fear and respect me. Sorry, I've never seen someone lose their mind that much in that bed. That can only be because you had the same thought. Did you also want to take a snake in? What are you on? You had snails? Right, I don't normally do this. We need to think a bit more. So you had snails, and do you mean like an army of snails that were your friends? You had 3 snails. Oh fuck. You had 3 snails, you kept them in a colander. Did you take them into school? Show them to people? They got taken home by a teacher and then they escaped in a car. So the snails never helped you make friends. No. Yeah, I know the feeling. I had the same thing. I was like, if I just buy another hamster to add to the 7 hamsters I have, I'll definitely have friends that aren't hamsters. Oh, snails, fuck, that's tragic. You were laughing so much that it distracted me. I was like, I have to ask you about this. Oh, that's beautiful. It's so specific. Snails in a colander. Sometimes at this point in the show, you've been brought here because you've got a mental friend or your partner's weird and you're just sitting clutching your drink like, get me out of this! And I respect that, but I've decided 2024 is going to be the year. No more drinking for me, just drugging from now on. Oh, I love drugs. I'm what the Americans call California sober. Do you know that term? That's where you don't drink, but you love weed. I'm very sensible. I just like a bit of weed and then ecstasy for any significant birthdays or important work-related photoshoots. Actually not. I could have really used it for that picture. And do you remember that Professor David Nutt that got sacked by the government for saying drugs were actually fine? Do you remember him? He got in trouble from the government because he said ecstasy is safer than alcohol or horse riding, which is true. But as soon as he said that fact, my brain just zoned in on the horse riding and I thought, yes, I want to combine these 2 activities, ecstasy and the horse riding, and ride my unicorn to the moon. Yes, I'm a big stoner and I'm very sensible. I don't smoke joints because they're terrible for your voice. But I love edibles, and I've never done that thing where you have an edible, you assume it's not working, you have another edible, you fixate it's talking to you. But it does wear away your memory if you push at it hard enough. And there was one time where I forgot that I had a bottle of weed syrup in my luggage at an airport, and a combination of not wanting to take it through the security scanners, but also being so unbearably Scottish that I cannot stand to waste money ever. Because I'm ashamed to say I treated my body like a pen. I down about 1,000 milligrams of the stuff. I thought, what's the worst that's going to happen? I just need to get from Edinburgh to Gatwick. Well, the worst that can happen is you become so paranoid that you contact the police to report yourself to the police. That is what I did. thought there's a criminal on the loose, her name is Fern, she must be stopped. And I reported myself to the police in such an inefficient way. In all seriousness, if you do have an emergency, don't contact the authorities in this manner. I contacted them by opening WhatsApp on my phone, pressing the numbers 999 and texting the words, "Help me!" A lot of these. And I said that to my partner, who has no connection with the British police whatsoever. He very generously opted not to pass on the intelligence, and he put me in bed with a kebab. I'm telling you, I was stoned for about a week. I don't know if this has happened to any of you, when you push weed too far, and then you're like, I guess this is just my identity now. I'm just a stoned girl in my town. And after about a week, I made it through, and I was like, wow, I got through that. I am amazing. I basically just did an ultra marathon with my thoughts. And that made me think, I'm stronger. I never thought I was able to do hallucinogenics before this. I have a lot of weird thoughts sober. I don't need to invite the new demonic ones in. And then things changed a bit, because last summer I went on holiday to Thailand with a weird combination of people. I went on holiday to Thailand with my little brother Sean and one of my friends from comedy, a comedian called Phil Wang, who did ask to remain anonymous during this story. But he doesn't commit any crimes in this story, so it's fine. Now, day one of the holiday, my brother's like, Fern, you and me are taking magic mushrooms, because we're in Thailand. They're not even drugs, they're literally therapy. We've got a lot of shit to work out about our mum. I was like, no thanks, but you know what? You're my baby brother. My brother's like 34, but I still see him as a tiny 5-year-old, so I just ruffled his hair and I went, let's get you some drugs. So we go up to buy magic mushrooms. Now, the only people we could find to buy magic mushrooms on this Thai island happened to be on magic mushrooms at the same time, which complicates the transaction an unbelievable amount. The two guys we went to buy magic mushrooms from, they were Chinese, and the reason I mention this is not because I'm one of your English racists kicking off, but because that was a bit of a thing, sorry. But my little brother is fluent in Chinese. He lives in Shanghai, but is very much a white Scottish man with a stronger accent than me. My friend Philip Wang is half Malaysian, so looks Chinese, but is very much the poshest English man you've ever met in your life. Speaks no Chinese at all. So we go in to buy mushrooms off this guy. The mushroom guy is very twitchy, like, why have you turned up? I'm high. My brother says in polite Mandarin, hello sir, we would like to buy magic mushrooms. My friend Phil says to me in English, I don't like the look of this friend, let's go back to the hotel. And the drunk guy looks at my white brother speaking Chinese, looks at my Chinese appearing friend speaking English. What are they doing? They swap voices! Said to my brother Sean, stop showing off, start speaking English immediately. Phil, can you not Duolingo your way through this? Just say other two things so he doesn't think reality's been turned upside down. I've never seen a Scottish guy speak Chinese, Christ's sake. So we get the mushrooms, we go back to the Airbnb. Phil wants me to make it clear he departs the story at this point. And I'm left to babysit my brother on mushrooms. Now, I've never seen someone on hallucinogenics before, so I was a little bit frightened. And I actually hid all the knives in the apartment just in case it kicked off. So then I was quite shocked that all my brother did was take a deck chair, look at the sky, and laugh at it for 6 hours. It got boring for me after the first hour, so at 3 AM I was like lying in bed and I could still hear this horrible demonic laughing. Went out to check on him, I looked at the back of his little head and he turned around and he went, oh, sorry Fernie, was I laughing for a minute? Yes. And I was like fuming at him. I got up the next morning ready to go nuts at him. I was like, I just want to have a 30-something holiday, eat nice noodles, see some sacred Buddhist temples, and you're ruining it all. And then I couldn't even shout at him because my brother just came through looking angelic. He was like, Fern, I am a healed man. I had depression before this, and I went on. And he was like, I have a spirit guide. His name is Steve. Steve told me anytime I feel bad again to just contact him and he'll help me out. And I was like, that's really lovely, but does it involve going back to that scary man from last night? Yeah, it does. But it got me thinking, because I saw that they were using magic mushrooms to help people with treatment-resistant depression. So then I said to Phil, oh, you know, I've always been judgy about mushrooms. What do you think of magic mushrooms? And he went, they do make colours shine a little brighter. And normally he just talks about investment portfolios, he's really boring, so I was like, sold! So the next night my brother's like, I'm going to give you mushrooms and I'll be your trip sitter. I'm going to stay sober and give you mushrooms. And he went, now Fern, take this full bag of mushrooms. This is the correct dose. I was like, really? Because I can't even drink 2 glasses of wine without my eyes rolling around my head. No, Fern, this isn't drugs, it's literally therapy. And he said that with all the authority of a trained psychotherapist. I'm not a 34-year-old man that runs a pizza stall in Shanghai. So about an hour later, I was questioning my trust in him because I was like, ah! Everything that could be a hallucination was, I thought the sea was talking to me, I thought all the songs on my headphones had been written by God for me. My brother was like, calm down, don't fight it. But I couldn't hear what he was saying because Courtney Love had appeared as a giant sky god over his shoulder. She's always mouthing off, so I was like, please, speak one at a time, brother and giant Courtney Love. Horrible, right? He was like, calm down, fight the spirit guide. And what I think he meant when he said that was what Mariah Carey means in that song. You'll finally see the truth that a hero lies in you. You know that song? It's not about mushrooms, but I think it maybe is. Look for the spirit guide within. But old Autismo took this literally, went down to the beach, picked up a stray cat, and went, Spirit guide! Help me! The second I said it in this little cat's face, help me, the cat went from going meow to fully talking to me. One of the biggest things that has ever happened to me. The cat didn't speak to me with its little catty tongue or catty lips. I'm not dumb, I know that's physiologically impossible. Instead it spoke to me the normal way, by beaming golden light between our foreheads. Stop that Botox, start working on your low self-esteem. Then he bent down to lick his balls, and I was like, any other advice? And he went, at the end of the day, I'm a coward, I fucking know. I was like, oh God! I was roaring, crying. I lay on the balcony, sobbing. I put the cat on my chest to calm me down, and eventually he talked me through it. We had the best night ever. And I was trying to tell this posh English comedian, I can't tell you. I was trying to tell this comedian recently, give up alcohol, start taking mushrooms. And he was like, why? Why would I take that risk? And I went, listen, forget microdosing, start macrodosing. I was like, why would I do such a thing? And I went, like a high enough dose, come here, you're gonna feel like you're coming out of every part of your body. And he said, most posh English segment I've ever heard. I only want to come out of one part of my body, thank you very much. So the sun comes up, me and this cat are on the balcony, still on mushrooms, and I said to the cat, you're not just the best cat I've ever met, you're the best person I've ever met. I want to take you back to London and adopt you, because I've got 2 cats at home, they're nothing like you. They've never said a word to me in their house. And this is what the cat said back to me. I can't do that, Fern. Unfortunately, my life is here on the beach. But we'll always have the memories of our night together in silence. Sounds like a Shark the Weekend. Got back to London. I did feel really mentally better after my giant dose of mushrooms. I got back to London, got back to my 2 rubbish cats. I've all these cats in lockdown because I wanted a dog, I wasn't allowed one. I've all these cats, they're dead fancy pedigree cats, so they're quite neurotic. And I got back and I sort of, like a man who's had an affair and experimented elsewhere, and I came home like, right, let's have a new life with the cats. That analogy is consistently not working on tour. And I started giving the cats catnip every day, right? Because my cats are quite miserable wild cats. And my boyfriend is a very sensible guy. He was like, stop giving them catnip every day. And I was like, why? And he went, stop putting it in little lines. You're doing that deliberately to upset me. And I went, but why can't cats have drugs every day of their lives? They're not going to have to build up resilience to go out and get a job. They don't need them to be good people or get in uni. They're tiny affection slaves that live with me. Like, for all I care, they can have catnip all day, all night, go mental on the cushions. That's all they do. They don't go around fighting people in pubs, they just pad the cushions for them. My cat's favourite thing is they have a cardboard box that I sprinkle catnip onto, and even when they've licked all the catnip off, they go back to the cardboard box and just absent-mindedly do this. And I've said to my boyfriend, you don't understand, that's their Glastonbury. It's like happy memories for them. He's like, no, I'm sure you can't give them catnip every day. My partner's so sensible. It's probably good for me to be the mad one and have a sensible partner, but like, he's so sensible. He's only ever tried ecstasy once, and even then he went on Wikipedia to read about Renaissance art in the middle of a house party. Luke, I'm sorry, if you did come tonight and you thought she's like a nice lady of Taskmaster, now you know. I take drugs, I have mad thoughts, and I'm not an inspiration. But I give my cats drugs as well. I did get asked to go on another show recently where I was like, do you want me to be the inspirational autistic one again? It was a popular charity baking competition. You wouldn't know which one I'm on about. Now, I didn't go on it to like nobly raise awareness of how autism presents in women. Instead, I went on to raise awareness of a matter much closer to my heart, which is I am fantastic at baking cakes, and the nation must see. I've never watched this programme before. I've never watched any baking show before. I can already bake cakes. I don't want to watch some other losers do it. So I thought the way the show worked is that you bake in silence for 12 to 14 hours. I thought it's weird people like this programme, but fine. Got a shock. I went on it. The way it works is you have to bake the hardest cake or biscuit you've ever made in your life, and the whole time you're doing that, this lady runs back and forth, the presenter runs back and forth trying to distract you, making small talk with you. It's really awful. Then there's these two judges, a nice one and a bad one. The bad one is this sweaty, blue-eyed man. He hates women and he doesn't want them to win. So he just comes over and insults you periodically. Then the good judge, she's this like sweet posh old lady, she'll come over, what are you baking? That looks yummy. She'll pop some of your gingerbread dough in her mouth, raw dough, and she'll put her fingers in your mixing bowl, and you can't hit her because she's a dame, but that's unhygienic. That's going to happen in my kitchen at home. I was like, I came on this thinking it'd be a laugh, and it's a stress fest. I was rolling out this big bit of gingerbread dough, a difficult substance to work with at the best of times. And as I was doing it, the presenter comes over for about the millionth time that day. Oh, what are you doing there, friend? You seem to be getting a little frustrated. I said, yeah, sorry, I guess I'm an easily frustrated person. And she looked at her notes, tilts her head sadly to the side, and says, yeah, I've recently been diagnosed with autism. And I knew that was where the sad piano music was going to be. Because I knew what they wanted. They want a heartwarming, accessible, hopefully viral on TikTok clip of me talking about autism in a way that won't gross people out. Why yes, I've always been socially clumsy, a poor communicator. But you know what? Thanks to this programme, Paul Hollywood, the gingerbread men we're making, I start holding up my gingerbread man. They all have different complex emotions iced on their faces. You have cured me. I'm proud of baking. And I hate that narrative. I feel like that kind of gets pushed a lot. Sometimes when I tell people that I'm autistic, I feel like they think that's a sad thing, so we have to have a redemption narrative. But instead, I got overwhelmed and said to the presenter, I can't answer that, sorry, and just looked Try to tell you guys how being autistic affected me on this show. I don't think they would want this played over sad piano music. First off, he kept taking me out into this garden, taking me away from my precious bacon into a garden to talk about the charity they were raising money for. It was a really lovely charity. It was a cancer charity. Don't panic, I'm not going to make fun of that. So someone always like helpfully laughs at that point, just in case I'm an expert. But they said to me, so Fern, has anyone in your family been affected by this illness? And I said, no, we've all been really lucky, thank God. And I thought that was the end of it, but they asked it again and again. Are you sure it just makes for a much better programme? Anyone you can think of, anyone you know that you know has been affected by this? And I was like, no, everyone in my family died of Scottish things, mental illness, pastry, etc. And then that got me really flustered because I thought, I'm not doing what they want. I have to try and be charming or I won't get booked for another programme again. And I often read like charm tips and books on social skills. So I've read this book that people kept sarcastically recommending to me. It's called How to Win Friends and Influence People. And the book How to Win Friends and Influence People said, if you want to be charming, pick something you sincerely like about a person. And just tell them that from the heart and you'll be charming. So we had a little break in filming. I was talking to the nice judge on the show, her name's Prue. She went, oh, I know you, Fern, from your comedy. Now I didn't know Prue from the Bacon programme, like I told you I've never watched a Bacon programme before. But I did know her from one thing, and I was so excited to tell her. I said, and I know you, Prue, from your amazing euthanasia documentary. I thought she would be buzzing about it. But she was looking at me the way some of you are looking at me. I understand euthanasia is a taboo, similar to the same audiences that don't like euthanasia, they also don't like abortion, and I think it's because euthanasia is a bit like aborting old people. Euthanasia is one of my special interests. I will read and watch and listen to anything I can find on the complex ethics around assisted dying. And Prue Leith has made one of the greatest documentaries on euthanasia in the last 10 years. In it, she travels across America with her son, an insane right-wing politician called Danny Kruger. He's against euthanasia, Prue is for it. Together, they go around saying things to doctors, like the son's saying things like, I believe it's state-sanctioned murder. Prue is saying things like, I want euthanasia now. I want to be dead now. It's so good. So I thought, Prue loves euthanasia. I love euthanasia. Let's talk. She looked appalled that I'd even brought it up. And she went, oh, that terribly dark documentary I made. And I thought, why the fuck do I even make an effort in social situations? I tried, and I tried, and I tried, and it goes wrong. I walked off set, I phoned my boyfriend, he's not autistic, so he's always explaining why things go so wrong. I said, Prue Leith didn't like my compliment, it was from the heart. I followed the rule in the book, I gave a compliment from the heart. The compliment was about euthanasia. And my boyfriend said, well, for Prue, it might be that Bake Off is a happy space where she thinks mainly of Victoria sponges and buttercream icing. So for you to bring up assisted suicide in Victoria, that made me feel quite dark to Prue. I was like, right, you know what felt dark to me? Taking me into the garden to talk about death every 5 minutes. You people don't make sense to me. On top of all this, as if it couldn't get any more excruciating, while Prue was going, oh, I'm sorry, oh, my dog programme. At this point, one of my fellow Bake Off contestants chooses to join the conversation. She happens to be a Spice Girl, happens to be my favourite Spice Girl, Scary Spice, Mel B. She just toddles over, what's this about euthanasia? That's when my brain exploded. And I was like, oh, I'm still on the mushrooms. None of this scenario is real. This can't be happening. I'm definitely lying on a balcony in Thailand with a cat on my chest. Well, it was real. It was real. That really happened. I'm really never getting back on TV. Don't do what someone did after one show and go on Instagram and act police. Someone did that. What gas? Oh, I was like, Prue, you might like this story. Do you honestly think the Bake Off PR department's going to be delighted about this? No, Prue's going to have me killed. She's going to be like, it's euthanasia. She wants it. People will be like, interesting. Have you ever seen someone be kicked to death by Paul Hollywood? So, I think that's the end. That's the end of the show. Oh, I tell you, do you know what I enjoyed? Like snails in a volume. That was fantastic. I just thought that was really poignant. I can't believe someone would do it. Is that a Lancaster thing? Is that a Lancaster thing? Some people say yes. This tricker shouldn't be anything. You've been such a lovely audience. I always like coming to Lancaster. Thanks very much. Thanks to my support, Peter Brush. Good night.